name's Mark Jean Mayer. I'm with a company called Alert Sentry. We do medical alarms, and the basic concept of the medical alarm is you push a button, you get help. That's the ultimate goal. So I don't know if people are living home alone or if they know somebody that might need one of these. We do offer the best pricing in the industry. It's got the most features of anybody in the industry. And I'll kind of go through those as we go along. But I gave everybody a brochure and a file of life that should be on a refrigerator.
I got 3 of them on the refrigerator.
I'll be 60 in March, and I have a file of life, and I wear a unit all the time. And also a pen came with a little flashlight on the end of it, so when you get up to go to the little men's or ladies' room, you can scout it out. And also a fall prevention. There's 6 steps to fall prevention. They're very basic, they're very common. This sheet was actually designed and given to me by the National Council on Aging. And these are the 6 steps that they recommend for fall prevention. So, if you want to open up your brochure for the first page, there's a traditional home-based system. This is the one most of our competitors have. They usually get about $29 to $34 for it. It has a very small button that comes with it, and this is the unit that would be in the house that would announce after you push the button. This unit takes over. The call center would come across and ask if there's an emergency. The call centers are up in New Hampshire, and we strongly recommend any of our clients to push the button every week so they become familiar with it. You're not bothering anybody. This is their job up there. They like to do it, and they do it all the time. So most of the calls, most of the buttons that are pushed is somebody that has fallen down and just can't get up. So if you did push the button, it goes to the call center, the operator comes across and says, Mrs. Jones, do you have a problem? You can say, no, on my responders list is my next door neighbor, Tom Jones. Could you give him a call and have him come over to the house and help me up? That's about 85% of the calls that we have every single day that come in. We do a lot with elder services, the ASAPs in Massachusetts. I don't know if anybody's on Mass Health. If you are, you can come up to me after this and I'll give you a Mass Health. Basically, it's a prescription that needs to be filled out by your doctor, but through Mass Health, it's offered as a free unit. So you could pick up the unit for free if you're Mass Health, which is a great feature. This standard unit that's good in and around the home, the traditional unit, this guy right here, comes with a wristband, comes with a pendant, and it also comes with a pendant that has fall detection. So if you do fall, we still recommend that you push the button because it's not 100%, but the button is designed to go off after you fall, and call the box. Let them know what the situation is. A lot of people ask, well, if I hit it by mistake, what happens? So they come across the box, they ask if it's an emergency, and just say, no, I made a mistake. Or I'm testing my system. And again, weekly tests are great because it just gets you more familiar with it. Again, you're not bothering anybody. This is their job. They get paid to do this. And it works out well. Now, at the operators, you push the button, you as an individual come right up on their screen so they know who you are, medical conditions, telephone numbers, and the big thing is responders. So you might have a daughter or a son that lives close by, or maybe somebody at the senior center here that we could call for you and complete that exercise that you need to have done. Going to the next, any questions? Must have done my job. So the next, if you open it all the way up, there are 2 fall detector units. There's a fall detector unit and a standard unit, but they're both mobile units. So this unit that I'm wearing right here is light. It's 1 3/4 inches square. I push this button anywhere in the country. I'm going to know who you are, I'm going to know where you are, and I'm going to carry out your wish. Whether it's getting a hold of somebody else or getting emergency services out for a wellness check. And this one is very unique. It's water resistant. It holds a battery charge for 2 to 3 months. So there's no recharging or anything else like that. Again, it's lightweight. It's leading edge technology. It's the best price in the industry. On a quarterly sign up, it comes out to $89.85 a quarter. And that converts down to 29 cents, or $29.85 monthly. There's no other costs involved. There is a one-time $25 setup charge, but if anybody from this town wanted to order one of these units, we'll waive that for the next week or so. Call in, we'll take care of you on that side. The next unit is what we call the Elite. It's the gray unit on there. It comes out to $119.85 quarterly. Again, there's a one-time $25 activation fee that we waive for you. All our shipping is free. I forgot to tell you that. And this unit has a fall detection unit built into it. So, and GPS. So again, we know where you are. If you fall, the unit should go off. We still recommend that you push the button to get help. The only problem with this one, it has GPS. And it's very power hungry. GPS does not work in a building like this. It has to see a satellite, physically see a satellite. So the unit will still work, it's just the GPS coordination won't work. 99.7% of the time you can tell if you did push the button, you can tell the operator where you are, and we'll dispatch emergency services accordingly. Yes?
Will the GPS work if you don't push the button?
Yeah.
Like, can you track?
Yeah, it's called breadcrumbing. And there's a portal that you can be set up in. It's kind of for the kids to keep an eye on the parents, if the parents want that. Every 10 minutes, it goes up and grabs the satellite and comes back and gives you a breadcrumb or a position for that unit, if the satellite's seeable. That's the way it works. It's water resistant, it's a good unit. I don't recommend fall detection. Our company doesn't recommend fall detection unless you're really prone to falling. I mean, a fall typically doesn't knock you out, but if you have low blood sugar, if you've got incidents of seizures and passing out, fall detection is the best thing in the world you could have, but it's overkill for an awful lot of people. We have what we term key lock boxes. And this is kind of like a realtor's key lock box. Put it on a doorknob, and you put your front door key in it. The call center would have your combination, so when you did push the button, we would give the dispatchers in this town the code 1234. They'd come over, they'd know where the box was, open up the box, grab the front door key, and get in quickly. Any other questions? We have Alert Sentry's been in business for over 15 years. Again, we work very closely with the state. We have about 1,100 dealers set up on a national basis. Our dealers are typically DME, durable medical equipment, home health agencies, people like that, pharmacies, and they're spread out across the country. But again, our concentration in Massachusetts is real strong with all the COAs typically, elder services, and Mass Health. So that's kind of my spiel in a nutshell. Again, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If anybody calls in and needs a unit or has a friend that needs a unit, just have them call in and tell them the activation is waived. We'll waive that through this month. Can't tell you anything else that you might need to know. Typically, people need to know when they get it. Oh.
Do you rent that or do you buy it?
You basically you rent the equipment. Good question. So you don't pay for the equipment. We send out all the equipment. On the back of the brochure, there's a savings coupon code. It's all free shipping, free handling, We send it right out. You install it, or you have a loved one install it. It's very simple to install. This unit, or this unit, in this unit, we pre-program at the factory and then send them out all programmed up and ready to go. So when you get it, you just put it on, wear it, and you're set for that day.
I have medical alert,
Yeah.
so I rent that by the year.
Okay, so what they call that is a monthly monitoring fee. I don't think you own the equipment, do you? No. Now, just out of curiosity, any idea what you pay? On a monthly basis for that?
She pays by the year.
Yeah.
What
How much
pay?
do you pay a year for it?
$345.
$345.
Gotcha.
You can pay it by the month if you want, but I do it by the year because it's not so much trouble.
Now, is your system good just in and around the home? Can you?
Yes, just inside.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can go upstairs, but
Yeah.
like I said, it's not for outside.
We say in and around the home. These are typically good for about 1,000-foot range. But if you put it next to a refrigerator, or if you're in a mobile home, you're not gonna get that range out
I
of it.
have the thing for my neck and I have the wrist thing.
Oh, you have both? Great, great. We could save you an awful lot of money because we're at $19.95 a month, whatever that, $19.95? So it's 20, it'd be $220 a year versus your 300. We have an awful lot of people that do switch over to save money.
I know, like I said, when I went to pay the bill, he said, well, you could get something cheaper, but I'm already settled in on that one, so. You know, you go finish up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, understood, 100%. You feel comfortable with that one, you keep that one.
I'm not here.
He says, you keep the one you got until you pay them, yeah. I mean, I don't know when your year starts.
No, I won't be here next
Yeah?
Are you the only company that has this key lock accessory? Because I haven't heard about that, and I think that's a great feature, because working in home care, I know that a lot of people are afraid to push the button because they feel like, you know, the police and everybody is going to knock their door down and break the glass and everything.
And they do?
And they do, right. But something like this key lock accessory is a really good feature.
It is, we pass it through at $24.95. That's what we pay for it. So we think it's a necessity. We have a lot of, and it's the first thing, one of the things that we ask when we're taking the order at the office. Key lock box be of help. A lot of our clients, nope, the key's under the front mat in the front door, or, you know, the combination to the garage doors, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a key for the door in the garage in such and such a place. But key lock box is very important, and we do recommend it to people that do lock their doors. A lot of people don't even lock their doors, and you know, other places across the country. At my house, I don't lock the doors. You guys probably don't even lock the doors around here. I wouldn't know. You know, you do?
We never do, but now we do.
Yes.
If you use it and then you want to change the combination, are you allowed to change it? Because after maybe you don't want the same people to have your number,
Oh yeah, just have to give us a call.
and you can change it.
Yep, it's very easy to change. We'll walk you through the changing on that.
And then is it the responsibility of each person who has it to notify the police what the combination is? So
No,
they
the-
have it, or do you folks
Yeah,
have
the
it?
way it would work is we pre-program these going out. So you'd give us maybe your date of birth, or the last 4 digits of your telephone number. That goes into the computer, so when you push the button, up on the screen comes Mrs. Jones. All these particulars are there. Key lock box is one of them. So it would give the location to the EMS group for the key lock box and also the combination. But if you did change it, you gotta let us know.
What do you do to safeguard that information on your computer?
We're all HIPAA and we're PIC certified. So there isn't any way that anybody can get to any of that information. We did have an incident, I won't name the town, but the town actually charges for these. They charge $75 a piece. They have one key in the town. And somebody got a hold of the key and started opening lock boxes up and getting into people's houses, way far away from here, so you don't have to worry about it around here. But it was in Massachusetts by the fire department. So if you have your own combination, it's a lot safer. You can change it as many times as you want. You just give us a call to make sure that we have the correct combination. Typically, if you push the button and you do have an emergency, I'm not sure about this town exactly, but my town, they'll dispatch the fire, police, and an ambulance. And they call it a wellness check. So they're not out there to charge you, they're not out there to take you to the hospital unless needed, but they do come out, take your vitals, talk to you, and see if you want to stay at home, or we'd be happy to transport you to your doctor or the hospital for a quick checkup. It acts as a great security system. It acts as a kind of a fire system as well. I mean, if you get into any situation, burglary, you just push the button, and you're immediately getting help. That's what it comes down to. Yes?
So when you said that if they respond, you have several options, so that would be call fire, police, medical, you're telling them what the immediate emergency is?
Yes, you tell the operator, maybe you didn't feel good for the day, and you've got a daughter that's at work, and you wanted us to call her and let her know that you're not feeling well, and we would call her up and complete the transaction, get back to you and say, hey, listen, everything's taken care of, she's on her way. So it doesn't have to be an emergency all the time. It's just a great peace of mind. It's an inexpensive piece of insurance for people that live at home or prone to falling or just want to live at home for as long as possible. And that seems to be the real trend these days, is to live at home and stay out of the assisted living and nursing homes. I have an aunt in Harwich who's 92, just for a real quick story, and she won't wear, she's so vain. She grew up in Provincetown. She's a hippie from way back. Her name's Barbara. And she got married and opened up a restaurant, Aesop's Tables in Wellfleet. Had that for years, the old Governor Bradford house. Unfortunately, she got divorced. She moved to Harwich. She's been living alone for 20 years in Harwich. But again, she is so vain, she won't wear this button. So what I did is I put one in her bathtub. I threw one on the floor in her bedroom, and I threw one on the floor in her living room. So I said, if you fall down, and she can't get up, she just doesn't have strength in her legs to get up if she does fall down. She's fallen down 3 times, push the button 3 times. Twice she was taken to the emergency room, thank goodness, because her blood pressure was skyrocketing high, and that's kind of what made her tipsy and to fall down. The second time, I forget exactly what, but she was dispatched. And the third time, it was just a matter of calling the neighbor and having the neighbor come over and help her up. So she lives about an hour and a half from me. She doesn't have anybody visiting. She's got elder services now, and a town nurse and a private nurse, but before that, there wasn't anybody. So she would have been hung up for days on the ground. And unfortunately, that's the story we get. I need to place an order for one of these because I fell down last week. I'm just getting out of rehab. Rehab mentioned that I should get one of these, and they kind of go through the story of why they fell, how long they were on the floor, and things like that. But any other questions? We're right down the street. We're in Lakeville, Mass. I don't know if you guys know where Lakeville is, but it's not too far away. Route 44. Yeah. I live in Marshfield, so it's a good 2 hours to get here. 2 terrible accidents on 495 this morning. So I did leave early and got here on time. But hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Any questions you have, feel free to call the office. We're not here to sell you anything that you don't need. We're not the biggest, so we have to be the best. We get the best price, the best service, and the best equipment, leading edge equipment like this for $30. Lifeline would be getting $60 to $65 a month for it. But, thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Let me know if I need to speak louder, okay?
What?
For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Ann Holden, and I'm a nurse. I've been here at the Senior Center for over 2 years now. Twice a month, come in for blood pressure clinics, and have just really enjoyed meeting so many of you and getting to know you. And it's been great because we talk about not only blood pressure, but different things in life or different other things that are going on with you that affect health. I've been a nurse for a lot of years. Probably the past 12 years, I've been working with elders, either in the home care community, assisted living, elder care, daycare. So I have a real passion for health and wellness. And part of the goal for all of us is to stay as healthy as we can, to stay in our own homes as long as we can, and to learn as much as we can how to do that and how to do that safely. So when I spoke to Patrice a couple months ago about maybe talking about sodium, because that comes up a lot of times during our visits, back in the back there, I figured, well, I'll be sitting at a table with 5 or 6 of my ladies and gentlemen and maybe talk about sodium. I never expected to have a wonderful turnout like this, and I think, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming, and second of all, I'm just very pleased that people want to learn more and want to educate themselves and learn what they can and cannot eat. I don't want to make this black and white because this is real life, and just like anyone else, there are days that I might eat things that are a little more salty. So I really want to provide a little bit of information for all of you, some facts, but we're going to have a little fun with this today, okay? And I brought in a whole bunch of products. I mean, I shopped my pantry at home. I shopped the grocery store because some of these products do have more sodium than others, and I've been very conscious of sodium for years. I don't have high blood pressure, but I know how sodium affects the body, and I also know how I feel when I eat too much sodium. So I did go shopping at Hannaford and Trader Joe's and Walmart and picked up a few products that are higher in sodium. But I want to also show you some alternatives to choose. So it's not that you can't have something, it's like let's make some good choices for the same product. So just a few things. Basically, oh, and I just wanted to let you know, I have handouts for everybody, so don't feel like you have to take notes. We got 4 different handouts that you can pick up at the end here about all the things that I'm going to talk about. And also for those of you who've signed up, I have a little salt-free gift for you to take and to try out at home as well. So what do I hear a lot of times back in the, I'm going to refer to back in the blood pressure room, but back in our corner where we sit. Why is my blood pressure high? I don't use a salt shaker. And I think the important thing for people to be aware of is the bulk of sodium in our diet doesn't come from the salt shaker. The bulk of it comes from packaged foods, processed foods, even some foods that have natural sodium in it. Sodium is a salt, sodium chloride, okay? And these things are added in all of these products. Some have less than others. So even if we're not using the salt shaker at all, the bulk of salt that we're getting in the course of a day comes from the things that we eat. And then we can complicate it by we're going out to a restaurant, we might be going to Panera even and get a healthy soup. And the amount of sodium that we might be having just from that meal is as much as we want to have, or is recommended for us to have in an entire day. So it doesn't mean that we can't do these things. It doesn't mean, and I don't want to come across at all that way. It doesn't mean you can't go out and have, lunch at a restaurant or dinner or get takeout Chinese. But if you're aware of the amount of sodium in what you're eating, you have to balance it. So for the rest of the day, if you go to Panera or Applebee's or any of the places, be aware of it so that you can watch the sodium in your diet for the rest of the day and maybe even the next day as well. Okay, so the whole thing is balance. More than 75% of our sodium comes from, as I said, the processed foods, the prepackaged foods, and from the restaurants. So this is what we can control and what we can't. We can control what we're eating. We can't control other things that's going to affect our blood pressure. And sodium is the biggest culprit in high blood pressure throughout our lifetime. Our blood pressure, for everybody, I don't have high blood pressure, my blood pressure is going to rise as I get older. That's just a fact that they've studied. So even though we might say, well, I don't have high blood pressure, I can use it. 90% of us throughout our lifetime are going to develop some form of high blood pressure. Hi, Barbara.
I am.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Do you want to have a seat? Or
Yeah, I have to sign.
you want to sign in?
Yeah. You know, so.
So basically, at this moment, 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure.
Oh,
And as we get older in our lifetime, 90%, 9 out of 10 of us are going to have high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the major risk factor in heart disease. And it's as prevalent. It used to be, years ago, you would hear high blood pressure or cardiac issues are a male issue. Women don't have heart attacks. Women don't have heart disease. Well, it's proven to be totally untrue, and women are as high a risk in developing this as men are. So basically, sodium is a mineral that's essential for life. We all need a little bit of sodium in our diet, literally just a little bit though, okay? And sodium helps to regulate the fluid balances in our system. Do you want to find a spot? We don't want to sit. All right, so what does sodium do for us? It helps to regulate the fluid balance in our bodies. It helps with impulses of regulating nerve impulses and muscle function, okay? And so how does sodium, and this is going to be the end of our facts stuff. We're going to get into some of the fun stuff because I want everybody to have enough time I want to go over some of these things, and I also want everyone to have enough time to ask questions and also to have a good, healthy, low-sodium lunch that Patrice and Sandy have prepared. So, when you have extra salt, if we've eaten too much sodium or salt in a given day, what happens? It pulls the water, the sodium retains the water, it pulls the water into our blood vessels. So picture your blood vessel as a garden hose, okay? Here's your garden hose. So or your blood vessel. It's pulling the water in there, and by pulling it in there, the pressure is going up. If you turn the spigot up on your faucet outdoors, the more you turn it up, the more pressure is going to be in that hose, okay? Your hose is your blood vessel. The longer that pressure stays like that, the more that hose or that blood vessel loses its elasticity, for one thing. So the heart has to pump harder to push it through, and it speeds up pushing plaque and all kinds of other things the more pressure it has, the more forceful that stuff is going to go throughout your body. So, and basically the heart gets tired. The heart gets tired by that constant increased pressure and the increase of having to work harder to push blood through, okay? So that's why sodium is dangerous for us, okay? We can't control, some people have a higher risk factor of heart disease because it's in their family, their genetics, and so on. Some people, as I said, as we get older, that's another risk factor. Other risk factors are, if we're diabetic, if we have high cholesterol, the blood pressure risk goes up higher too. So my whole goal today is to try to teach you a few things so that you're more aware of what your choices are, and also have you have a better understanding of, when people say, well, or someone today just said to me, oh, the doctor said I shouldn't have any salt anymore. But you need to understand why. It can't be like all of a sudden, my lifestyle is so different, what can I eat? So that's part of what I want to be doing with you today. All right, so basically, here's some salt, okay? In a half a teaspoon, okay? Not a lot. There's 1,150 milligrams of sodium, okay, in just that half a teaspoon. The American Heart Association changed their guidelines in 2010. Prior to 2010, the amount of sodium that was recommended by the American Heart Association was 2,300 milligrams, 2,300 milligrams in a given day. Not from the salt shaker, from everything, okay? In 2010, they lowered it down to 1,500 milligrams for normal, healthy people, specifically for people that do have any high blood pressure or risk factors or so on. But the last few years, they're even saying for normal, healthy people, that's the goal. It's a tough goal. I mean, let's face it, it is a tough goal, but if you can keep that in mind and have an understanding of why. I remember back years ago when I used to work inpatient nursing, and I worked at UMass for quite a few years, and I worked with some of the cardiologists and so on. At that time, a low sodium diet for people who were in congestive heart failure or things was 2,000 milligrams. So things have, they've learned a lot over the years, and things have really changed, and it's for a reason. So this is a goal. It doesn't mean that on a given day, if you go up to 2,500 milligrams, something awful is going to happen. But if you have an understanding of what the goals are. Okay, so half a teaspoon, almost 1,200 milligrams, almost what you should have in a day. All right. Let's have a little quiz. What do you think has more salt or sodium? An ounce of the pretzels, an ounce of the potato chips. Potato chips? It's really the pretzels. Okay, and these are low. I had a little stomach issue a month or so ago, and so the best thing for me to quench my nausea is pretzels versus saltine crackers. So I was pretty much living on pretzels for a week. So I was looking for the lowest sodium pretzels. These have salt on them, and these Bachman Mini have, per ounce, which is not a lot, 290 milligrams per ounce. That's 16 of these little pretzels. This was the lowest one I could find. Other ones, the other brands of pretzels that are out, 400, 500 milligrams in the same amount. So basically, what I'm saying is read your labels. It's something that I really advise everybody to do. Read your labels, look at how much sodium, I mean, we're so geared to think about how, oh, well, it's low fat, so it's okay. You know, I don't have to worry about it. Or it doesn't have a lot of calories, so it's okay. I don't have to worry about it. Look at your sodium as well. And also look at the serving size. It might say, you know, per serving, you know, this might be 2 servings, and per serving is the amount. So you have to look at what the serving size is. So, interestingly enough, this bag, which is the same amount as an ounce of this, has only 150 milligrams of sodium in it. So go ahead and enjoy your Cape Cod potato chips if you'd like. You know, if you're looking for something that's an alternative versus the pretzels. If you like pretzels, then just be aware of what else is going in on a certain day. We just came off of, it's already November, so we didn't just come off of cookout season and the summer and all that. But I wanted to bring in some of the condiments that we all use, you know, for cookouts, for summer food, so that, you know, if you're having hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries with ketchup, you know, mustard, pickles, how much are you really having, okay? Mayo, 1 tablespoon, okay? Which if you're, you know, making a tuna salad or making a potato salad or whatever, 1 tablespoon has 135 milligrams of sodium, okay? Ketchup, 1 tablespoon, 160 milligrams of sodium. So think about this all at one meal, okay? Mustard, 1 teaspoon. Teaspoon of mustard, 120 milligrams of sodium. Okay, now here, if you read your labels and you go shopping, and it's going to take you a little longer at the supermarket, but it'll be worth it. This is from Hannaford. This is a mustard, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. 120 milligrams, 60 milligrams. So you've just cut that in half. So this is something you can control, you can enjoy it. So read your labels. Pickles. Everybody loves pickles, and they're low in calories, and there's no fat in pickles, but they do have a lot of sodium, and some have more than others. Anything that's brined is preserved, and it's going to have sodium. So these happen to be dill pickle, the slices, but just 2 of these thin slices is 220 milligrams. So 1 dill pickle has almost as much, at least 1,000 milligrams. 1 6-inch dill pickle has at least 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So again, you know, use it sparingly. Doesn't mean you can't have it, just use it sparingly. Salad dressings, okay? Salad dressings are notorious. I mean, anything that's processed has a lot of sodium because it preserves it, and then they have, if you read all the other ingredients, they have all kinds of other sodium type preservatives in it. Monosodium glutamate in some things, MSG. So salad dressings are notorious for having a lot of sodium. And salad dressings are something that we tend to, more often than not, just either pour over, or when you're out in a restaurant, you order a nice healthy salad and it has a few hundred calories and whatnot of salad dressing on it, okay? This salad dressing, per 2 tablespoons, 260 milligrams, which is not terribly high, but high. This one, per 2 tablespoons, 60 milligrams, and still very tasty. So 4 times as much in this one as this one. Again, just read your labels. And also, one of the tricks of the trade for anyone who's ever been on Weight Watchers or anything like that, always, when you're at a restaurant, order your salad dressing on the side. It's so commonplace now that you shouldn't feel at all that, like, well, you know, I'm going to put them out or whatnot. Just, you order a salad and say, can I have the dressing on the side? And that way, it gives you the ability to figure out how much dressing you want. You can pour a little bit on, you can dip your salad in it, whatever you want. But salad dressing for a healthy salad can really make that salad go downhill pretty fast, okay? I was trying to figure out things that are the more common that we might be eating or we might have in our pantry. Some of the foods that naturally contain sodium. And this is surprising because some foods, you think it's really healthy, it naturally has sodium in it. And some of the foods that have that are milk. Milk has 130 milligrams of sodium in a cup of milk. Sure, no problem. And it's just normally part of it. So any of your dairy products, okay, and we'll go over some cottage cheese in a second. Beets also have a little bit of sodium, naturally occurring, okay? 65 milligrams in a beet. Celery has a little bit. Even things like chicken breast have naturally occurring sodium in them. And this is, and I'm talking about fresh. I'm not talking about canned, processed, anything like that. So cottage cheese, and I know I like cottage cheese. My mom loved cottage cheese. And it's healthy for you. It's a good source of protein. It's a good thing to have in your refrigerator if you're just hungry and need a few spoonfuls of something. So, again, a half a cup of normal Hood cottage cheese, 430 milligrams of sodium in a half a cup, okay? And that's if you measure. I mean, when we're putting it in our bowl, we could be getting 3/4 to a cup, because it's good, and I'll do that too. Again, just awareness. Read your label, half a cup, 430. Hood now has a low, actually it's a no salt added. Same thing, Hood, no salt added cottage cheese. If you're used to this, when you first taste this, you're gonna be like, whoa. This is what I have in my house now. And this per half cup has 55 milligrams of sodium. So 430 milligrams for a half a cup, 55 milligrams a half a cup. Shaw's came out, I don't know if does people shop Shaw's here? Shaw's has a brand that's one of their store brands now. It's called Lucerne. And they have all their dairy products of Lucerne. And I've tried some, and they're actually very good. I like this Lucerne. This has 55 milligrams per half cup, no salt added. I think it tastes better actually than the Hood. But what you can do, and it's great to do this, is take a 1/4 cup of the normal stuff, a 1/4 cup of this, mix it together. You've just cut your sodium by half, okay? So mix things together. It doesn't mean you have to have all or nothing. So, blend your normal cottage cheese with your no salt added cottage cheese. You've cut the amount of sodium by half if you can't tolerate the no salt added, and just get used to it that way. It's all a matter of taste. If we're used to having salt and salty things on our taste buds, it's going to take a little while to gradually get used to not having that. So these are good ways of trying to accomplish that. Okay. All right. Let's. How are we doing for time? Almost 11:30. I'm gonna run out of time here. We'll try to get through this quickly because I want you to eat, and then I know you have bingo. I can't be late for Ron because I will not be on his good side.
Take you off my Christmas card list.
Right. All right. This is the time of year we like to bake. Some really good products out there. Some Ghirardelli dark chocolate brownie mix, which is very yummy, by the way. Duncan Hines dark chocolate cake. Fudge marble cake. What do you think has the most sodium of these three?
The middle.
The middle one, the Duncan Hines,
Marble.
the marble. This one? Okay. Let me get my glasses on because I want to get this right. But this one has the least. This is like, this is per 12th of a box. This is 130 milligrams of sodium per 1/12, brownie. This one is 290 milligrams. So 130, 290. You ready for this? 430. So, who would have, I was even surprised. Who would have thought that two different Duncan Hines varieties would be so dramatically different? Again, I'm just pointing it out to just read the labels. Okay, cereals. Cereals are healthy for us. They've got whole grains. Even Honey Nut Cheerios is marketed as can lower your cholesterol. Cereals do have sodium in it. Some cereals will have more than others too. Again, look at your serving size. It could be 2/3 of a cup. It could be a cup. These Cheerios actually aren't bad. You can get regular Cheerios too. They don't have to be the Honey Nut. But 160 milligrams of sodium in a cup, or 3/4 of a cup. This tried and true shredded wheat, whether it's the plain or the whole wheat, for years, no salt, 0, no sugar, and loaded with fiber. So shredded wheat is a great alternative if you're looking for a good cereal to eat. All of our baking products contain sodium, baking powder, baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon. I couldn't believe this when I looked at this. 1/8 of a teaspoon. I don't even have 1/8 of a teaspoon. This is a 1/2 a teaspoon. 1/8 of a teaspoon. 150 milligrams of sodium in baking powder, baking soda. All right, let's go to soups, because we're getting to be the winter season. Soups are delicious. It's a great meal for so many people. You just have to open up the can. Some are already reconstituted. And it's getting to be winter time, so soups feel good. I know people use bouillon cubes still. Bouillon, 1 bouillon cube. It's only 5 calories, really low, no fat. 900 milligrams in 1 bouillon cube. Okay? The bouillon granules, like if you got those Herbox, the little granules that are easier to dissolve than the cube, 1 little packet of granules, 880 milligrams of sodium. Okay? Soups. Lipton chicken noodle soup. I remember as my kids used to love eating this. Easy to cook, whether it's the French onion or this. 1 cup of this, 640 milligrams of sodium. We'll stick with Campbell's for a little while. Again, we use this to make French bean casserole for Thanksgiving, chicken noodle soup when we're not feeling too great. Read the label. This can, 1 serving size is just a 1/2 cup after you've already mixed it up with the water. 1/2 cup, that's not a lot of soup. We usually eat probably a cup of this, okay? A 1/2 cup is 870 milligrams. So if you eat a cup of this soup, you're talking 1,700 milligrams of sodium, and that's what they're recommending to stay around 1,500 to 2,200 the most. Same with the chicken noodle. 890 milligrams per 1/2 cup. So what are some good alternatives? I mean, there are alternatives to these things. So, I just wanted to bring this because I know PRousseau is a good brand and people like it. And it's a light, PRousseau light soup. It's a clam chowder. It looks really good. It only has per cup 100 calories. It has almost no saturated fat, no sugar, but per 1 cup is almost 700 milligrams of sodium. So don't get deceived by the words light or heart healthy or things like that. Read your ingredients. So okay, this is a good alternative. It's healthy choice. Chicken noodle, 1 cup, 390 milligrams. It's a whole lot less than this chicken noodle. And then, I don't know if anyone's familiar, all the stores are starting to carry this Amy's organic soup. Walmart carries it, Target carries it, Hannaford, things like that. This one only has, and they're delicious, 290 milligrams of sodium, 340. Canned vegetables, okay? They have to put sodium in cans to preserve things. Corn, healthy for us. Whole kernel corn, a half a cup, 320 milligrams, okay, of sodium. In the frozen variety of this, 0, okay? But be careful about frozen products too. Some frozen products, they do add a lot of salt, especially when they've added the flavors and different things like that. We'll just move up. Oh, I can't not mention how much salt is in soy sauce. This is a reduced soy sauce because I just couldn't bear to go get the regular one. 1 tablespoon, 575 milligrams. So regular soy sauce or teriyaki sauce, 1 tablespoon is 800 to 900 milligrams of this. Okay. I just want to mention, these are some healthy choices. Rice has no sodium in it. Pasta has no sodium in it. Potato buds, it's packaged, 25 milligrams of sodium. So it's fine to have. If you buy this kind of Uncle Ben's ready rice, 800 milligrams of sodium in a cup of this. 0 in a cup of this. Okay? You could buy this and maybe put a couple tablespoons of that mixed with your regular sodium, with your regular rice. Try playing around like that. And I guess we'll finish because I want you to have lunch. But macaroni and cheese, I mean, all of these packaged things, you know, you see the rice-a-roni, you see macaroni and cheese, the Near East, you know, pilaf, they're delicious. This is a healthy, I think I got this at Shaw's. They have an organic brand now that they carry. So 2/3 of a cup of macaroni and cheese, 480 milligrams of sodium. And I mean, my grandson, who is now 2, loves macaroni and cheese, and he can eat 2 servings of this easy, a cup and a third. So it's, you know, it's just raising awareness and getting you to understand what's in all these products, and also understand what you still can have. It's not that you can't have these things, it's just choose wisely, okay? Any questions? I know I ran over already. Yes?
I have high blood pressure, and yet my sodium level in my blood test is very low. So does that mean I can just have salt?
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, unless the doctor said to you, you know, you need to increase your sodium a little bit to get that up to a level. Is your potassium? Oh, I don't want to, you know, no. Well, we can talk about that, Janet, then, yeah.
Nice try, Janet.
Any questions? Yes. Excuse me, I can't hear. Yeah.
But if you're using a regular canned product like that, does it help to set the sodium up if you blanch it a little first in water before you add it?
I mean, they've always said that at least when you have a canned product, rinse it, put it in a little strainer, rinse it with water, it will get some of the sodium out. I mean, you have to also understand, as we all do, it's canned because it has a long shelf life. And so it needs to be, it's probably been sitting in there for months would be an understatement, you know. You see the dates on some of these products of how long they're good for. This can of corn is good until, or best by September of 2018. So it's been sitting in that salt and whatever other preservatives for a long time. So the bottom line, if whenever possible, go for fresh fruits, vegetables, meats. If you can't, then go for frozen. Frozen is your next best, and there's a lot of frozen food out there. But just read the label, because some of the frozen products have a lot of sodium in it, and you don't even realize it. Yes? Yeah. Light salt? Oh, Morton Light?
And it's medically called salt sense.
Yep.
I know you like
I'm not familiar with Morton Light, but I mean, certainly if it says it has less sodium, it's better than using the regular kind. The issue with using the salt substitutes that are out there, and I don't mean something like Mrs. Dash, because Mrs. Dash and the product that that's from Trader Joe's is just herbs. It doesn't have any sodium. But the problem with using something like a salt substitute is it's made out of potassium. And not everybody can have that extra potassium in their diet, because some of the blood pressure medications that we're on help to preserve the loss of potassium from our body. So we could end up with a too high potassium, which can affect our heart, our kidneys, and so on. Yeah.
How about that
Don't
sea
worry
salt?
about it.
Sea salt, that's a great question, and I did do some reading about sea salt, kosher salt, sea salt,
What?
regular salt. It has as
Salad,
much
I
sodium
guess. I don't know.
As the regular salt?
Yeah, just about. I mean, it's not dramatically different. It's maybe a little tiny bit different process of making it, but that's a great question. Because you think, I mean, there's even like Himalayan salt now, you know, and
Years ago, I used to listen to the radio, and there was this Skip Snow on there, and he was always mentioning the sea
sea
salt.
salt, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why-
it's still salt.
The
Yes,
trouble with
it's,
sea salt is it's bigger granules.
it's bigger
So
granules,
if you're
yeah.
used to 3 shakes or whatever, and
Yeah.
you do that, and you use more than you would have.
And that's the same with, you know, the kosher salt. I mean, if you read any of these good chefs, and they're always saying use kosher salt, and you know, and it's because it has a little bit bigger granules too. So the flavor, yes.
Chinese food, like Chinese food, it's usually a lot of MSG,
Yeah,
but a lot of places say you can order with the no MSG.
absolutely. And that's great, because MSG is unhealthy for us in general.
Monosodium.
Right. The problem, though, the issue with a lot of the Chinese food or the Thai food or the Japanese food is that they do use soy sauce, teriyaki sauce. Angela, you could help us out. Any other sauces that are loaded with sodium? So they might not have MSG in them, but they're loaded with sodium. I can't eat. I like Chinese food. I haven't had it in years because I do not like the way I feel afterwards. You know, when we have too much sodium in our diet, it can affect us as far as, you know, think about it, it's drawing in water, so it can affect us as far as feeling, you know, bloated, fluid retention, irritable. For me, it's not worth it, but for other people, it might be, so, yes.
I just don't think out here because I'm in the category of health. This is what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, we should shut off that thing
I
so
bought
it can
Chinese food, but I'm
That's just a salad, that's the stuff you put on it.
that's a very good suggestion, yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, well, I know we could probably keep going for a while, and I wish we could, but I want you to eat, and then
what we put on the chicken.
and then we have bingo. So, oh, and on the chicken, you're having salads that Patrice and Sandy made up beautiful salads, and you're going to have a salad bar. And the chicken that they prepared is been marinating with some of this 21 seasoning seaweed from, this is from Trader Joe's. One of my staples in my household, and I give it to everybody for a Christmas present too. So it's been marinating in that, so there's no salt, it's just herbs and flavor. And I mean, worst case scenario, if you needed to initially add a tiny sprinkle of salt, that's better than what's in this, or in a tablespoon a teaspoon of soy sauce or anything like that. So, you know, as long as you have an understanding. As I said, I've got handouts for everybody. Anyone that's signed up, I've got a little token of thanks and something to try. And thank you so much for coming and